Today marks the 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. The American Legion in Ogden gathered with community members to honor those killed.
As News Special's Jed Bull shows us, they believe the lessons learned that day are just as important for our country right now. American Legion Post 9 in Ogden held a small ceremony for the more than 2,400 Americans killed in that attack. They also remembered the 21 Utahns killed in Pearl Harbor.
On that fateful day, I just felt that we need to do a tribute to the fallen.
Steve Ross is the vice commander of American Legion Post 9 in Ogden.
My grandfather was a World War II vet. He was Army.
His father was also an Army veteran, and so is he.
79 years later, most of those who survived that day are no longer with us.
So Ross will always memorialize the devastation and sacrifice of that day.
We lost a lot of good soldiers, lost a lot of good ships, a lot of good men.
Just as Americans were urged to remember that attack in 1941, these Utahns vowed to never forget that date, which will live in infamy. They tossed roses into the Ogden River, symbolizing the blood spilled by American troops.
The fact that the Japanese attacked us there is something that we have to remember, and I'm honored that my little granddaughter could be here to understand the significance of that loss of life.
More than a dozen U.S. ships and 200 warplanes were destroyed.
Devastation, unpreparedness.
Decorated Korean War veteran John Cole was 14 years old, living in Colorado with little news.
Very apprehensive, you know, living in the mountains and not a lot of information other than that we was at war.
Cole joined the Marines 3 years later, but did not see combat in World War II. At the time, he thought losing so many battleships could have been a death blow.
But that's the way with American people when they get challenged with something that immense. They usually pull together. And I think we may need something like that again right now because we're getting too far apart.
He hopes America today can meet its rising challenges and find a way to pull together. For KSL 5 News, I'm Jed Bull.